down. Sync. All right.
Oh, hello there, Internet. I saw a movie on Halloween and it was super just okay. It's an independent foreign scary movie about American 20-somethings doing American 20-something out in Ireland wilderness while dead-end plot devices chase them around in a desperate attempt at creating intrigue and suspense to make up for characters that barely made it past their one-line summary.
Crack a motherfucker! What?
It's called Shrooms. Now, you're probably thinking from the title that it's gonna be some horror movie about mushroom men that come to life and wreak
Hilarious, vaguely poetic murder on a bunch of teenagers having sex in the woods.
and you would be wrong, because that would be awesome. Instead, it's about the other shrooms.
The magic ones.
So these barely legals, this blonde Catholic one with the overbearing father being our protagonist, have flown from America to Ireland to
Take advantage of the tax incentives offered by government film development funds
and to have a shroom trip out in a forest with an affable Irishman. The first mistake they make is flying to Ireland instead of walking over to the dorms of their local university. But if they did that, then the movie would be called I Had a Messed Up Party with a Bunch of Friends Who I Realize Now Are Kinda Assholes. Why do I hang out with them again? And while that movie would also be super just okay, it would probably be even less scary. As they're driving down the road, we learn that they were willing to pay $800 each to travel halfway across the world just to get high, but not one of them was willing to do even remedial reading about the drugs they were planning on taking. This is convenient because it gives our Irishman a chance to explain everything to them so that we can hear it too. Amazingly, the mushroom that he talks about, the Liberty Cap, is a real hallucinogenic mushroom. Enjoy this because it's the movie's last connection to reality. We spend the next 10 minutes foreshadowing the end of the movie. There's a story about sex in parked cars, an animal is hit by the car and beaten to death, we meet some scary yokels, everyone turns in their cell phones and keys to the least responsible person in the group, and we run into a casting problem where two of the girls look and sound the same, but we're expected to keep them apart in our brains,
even though we split an eighth in the parking lot before we got to the theater, then had to get our popcorn and tickets and sit through trailers, and now it's been 45 minutes and everything is starting to feel fuzzy, like someone is rubbing you all over with a big comfy blanket. And you'd swear that this girl was with the jock with the small penis. So why is she getting all upset that he's touching her bum? And why does she keep teleporting from one tent to the other? And man, it'd be sweet if you could teleport.
But wait, I guess they're out hunting for mushrooms now. In a forest when Liberty Caps grow in fields. But then we learn about the Death's Head fungi that will kill you, but if you survive, then you get superpowers, and maybe now you're figuring that this guy isn't the most responsible trip leader, since he let everyone wander off and is allowing rank amateurs to identify mushrooms when mycology is a notoriously hazardous hobby to begin with.
For this exact reason.
Then everything gets started when one of the boob shrooms hypnotizes Blondie, giving us a scene that borders on pornographic as she inserts the mushroom head into her mouth in achingly slow motion, a moment that manages to be both sapphic and phallic at the same time. Also, the mushroom is apparently made of snake venom since she goes into hallucinogenic convulsions almost immediately, and then she dies. But it's cool because this dude spent a summer working as a lifeguard and he totally knows artificial respiration. And drowning and poisoning are the same thing, right? I guess so, because she gets better. All in all, it doesn't matter that she just ate a viciously deadly plant, because instead of spending the next several days ejecting fluids from every orifice and slipping into a coma, she trips a bit and gets a little queasy like she ate too much candy, but she's better after a short nap. Oh, and she gets superpowers, maybe. She can kinda see the future, I guess.
But not really, because it's just her losing her mind while she kills everyone, because I guess she's super high on mushrooms.
And that might have been a spoiler if you phased out the whole story about how the deadly mushroom that the Catholic girl just ate makes Catholics go crazy and murder sex everyone with repressed rage boners. You probably weren't paying attention though, because you were busy wondering why her friends wouldn't drive her to a hospital, because at this point they haven't actually done anything illegal. There are zero consequences for their actions up to this point. And you'd think that the near poisoning of a friend would kind of put a harsh tone on the trip anyway, but it's hard to care about these characters when they don't even care about each other. Why are they friends again? The start of the second act is basically where the movie falls apart, with characters spending long periods of time walking aimlessly, looking for one thing or another before Blondie goes into vision mode and imagines seeing someone kill each of her friends in the future, just to shortly thereafter find that person several minutes dead. There's an amusing scene with a talking cow, and some violent penis removal that is somewhat interesting, but everything else just lazily rolls onto the screen and then off. Let's face it.
You went to see a movie called Shrooms with the tagline, "Prepare to get wasted."
The people who made the movie have no delusions that you are sober, so they gave you lots of meaningless time to get your brain back on track for the next plot point. They also need your mind to wander so that the big reveal at the end totally blows it away. But at the same time, I don't know if that's true, because it also seems to assume that you don't know anything about drugs and won't question how people who are apparently on a drug trip that lasts 4 to 12 hours are generally coherent, focused, and well coordinated. Beyond that, the setup is stupid, even for a slasher film, because they're trying to make it a slasher whodunit, where the killer is the nice, repressed, blonde Catholic girl. So they have to give absolutely everyone motive and opportunity to kill everyone else, on top of introducing menacing hillbillies. It's like, wait, why are these people even friends? They don't seem to have enough in common for the normal slasher setup of
Drunk sex at a cabin in the woods on a long weekend.
so why did they all fly to Ireland together? But hey, a couple of the trip sequences are kinda neat, and overall the cinematography is pretty. I give it a 1 out of 1 for drugs and a
0 out of 2 for robots.
for a total of 1 out of 3.
Needs more robots.